Sumail, Tiny, Crit Tusk, yeah. It's going to be mid-Tiny, and they'll play Inch offlane. For sure.
Okay. Well, there's a little bit of a saving grace in case someone does get initiated on.
And that's why they banned the Huskar, because that's an awful matchup for Tiny. But I feel like when you look across Evil Genius's course, there might be a little bit of place for a great last pick here from LGD. I would see this as a pretty good, for example, Timbersaw game could be interesting, perhaps.
It's an Alchemist. We're alcheming this.
Not sure how much I like this. I think that lane matchup is really good for Tiny. It should just, on paper, be very easy for Tiny to deal with the Alchemist. And when the game goes on, sure, if Alchemist gets to farm, he has great teammates to give the Aghanims to, which we can't forget. There's 3 amazing Aghanims in this team. Weaver, one of the best in the whole game, arguably. The one on Venge is super good too, and the one on Pudge, also nice. But I don't know if I kind of don't have the feeling that this game is going to go that late, that we're going to be looking at multiple Aghanim Scepters, so I don't know how much they're thinking about it.
Yeah. And like with most of the games anyway we've seen from LGD, like they're very willing. Actually, it wasn't with the other teams. Like they just pick up the Aghanim Scepter anyway on the Weaver. Like it's worth spending the money. Like the Alchemist is going to need the life to be able to stand his ground against Arteezy.
All of VG's heroes are glowing blue, man. They're all just glowing blue, except Tiny has no.
I can't see it. FY's big fat butt is in the middle of the screen. I cannot see the Clinks. I cannot see the Weaver. And the way he came on, he was basically swinging on a star.
Yep. That's Pudge for you.
Yeah.
He takes the spotlight. It's a great hero. It's really fun.
Yeah, he's the guy that doesn't need the Arcana because he's got so many damn sets.
But he has it anyway.
He has it anyway.
Doesn't have the green one, though. So I guess he hasn't been playing much against Rubik. That could be because nobody plays Rubik this patch, except Yapzor, and then he loses.
Wow!
They might have won, actually. I'm not sure. I think I saw them lose a couple of Rubik games.
You can't get that kind of crap to your former teammate.
I'm just kidding. He's a great Rubik fan, so obviously, if Rubik is a good pick, you will be seeing Secret run it. And I think even if it's not a great pick, they would try it anyway. But as far as I've been aware of the games we've seen, we cast a Rubik game too where Rubik lost. That was against Windstrike. IG had it on Boboka in that game.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, let's get a feel for our lanes right now, so we can bounce through LGD, where they start down on the bottom lane with your running Clinks, taunt away Arme. FY is supporting as the Pudge. Want to see how his effectiveness is. And the mid lane, Alchemist, played by Somnus. Off lane, Chalice the Weaver. Xnova supporting as the Vengeful Spirit, who was like the support hero of this patch, it seems. And they'll be having to battle against Arteezy up on top lane, who at the moment is by himself. And everybody else is down on bottom lane. So it's S4's Ench, it's Sumail on Tiny as you expected, Flies Lich, and Crits Sumail. That wraps us up.
Yep, looks like EG are trying to set a trap here with 4 heroes, and well, for now LGD are not falling for it. We'll see if they end up doing that eventually.
LGD just spamming their taunt buttons and waiting for it to come off cooldown. I don't even think they care about runes. And they can always just Pudge hook it if they want to.
This is a very good observer ward that the EG side has managed to place down here. In the anticipation, probably, that this is a safe lane Pudge support. Pudge will want to try to hook into the tree line and into the tower in this area, but with that ward, it covers the area really nice.
The shards, it blocks in Arme, and he pulls up S4 with the hook. There will still be multiple runes coming in for Evil Geniuses.
2 per side.
It is. Fly and Sumail were able to pick one up each.
Now, one concern I have for this EG lineup in this game is that I think their safe lane is super weak. Like, Lich Spectre is a very abusable lane, and they're playing against Venge Weaver, who should easily be able to pressure them a lot. So EG will probably have to expend a decent amount of gold on regen in this lane. They already have flasks and tangos, but probably going to need a little bit more in the way of that to sustain themselves. Lich is a very unuseful support until level 2. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. When the Frost Blast can finally come in, like we had a Lich and Zeus lane, which with the Arcane boost, like they were able to spam Frost Blast, Arc Lightning, Bolts, and then they were able to at least stand in the lane. But yeah, in this one, like, how aggressive can Arteezy really get up against Chalice? You've always got that jump off. Xnova for some reason standing on top of a Dire Observer ward.
He was checking if the camp got blocked and instantly sentries it out.
Yeah. So he's got his side camp to pull over.
Yep. And this is something that is really good to do against Lich, right? Because what Lich will do is he will sacrifice creeps, and that means you will naturally push into their tower. And when you do that, you want to pull that hard camp sometimes. So they give themselves the option to do that this way from minute 2 onward. Now, what EG did accomplish was that Fly sacrificed a creep and then gave the full wave to Arteezy. So Arteezy got a fast level 2. And he's looking okay here. Probably going to have to use his first salve. I have another one to go. Oh, I got... No, that just barely didn't get broken there by Xnova.
Just out of range with the Wave of Terror. Bottom lane's having more fun. FY and Arme are standing heavily in the lanes. There's still more consumables available. Like, Arme hasn't had to use his salve just yet. In fact, all of them apart from, like, S4. But he's got Sprite stun up on top. Arteezy under attack. But Chalice as well as Xnova not healthy enough to dive Arteezy underneath the tower. They're not that strong just yet.
Sumail will get the room. Oh,
Toss him.
This is bad news for Somnus.
Actually, he can do a lot of damage here. Sumail got the bottle charges as well. So if he can wait a little longer, 4 seconds, and with the extra movement speed underneath the tower, there should be first blood going the way of Sumail.
Super important for Sumail there to have both spells ready. He needed that perfect chaining of Avalanche into Toss to get the range and get the rune that maybe really wanted to steal away from him, but didn't manage, and this is a huge advantage in the beginning for the Tiny in the mid lane. Full level advantage.
Chalice ran back into this. Like, they think he has enough, but no, he does not. Fly. One more Frost Blast available. They're trying to battle to get the Weaver Bug off the back of Arteezy and have his armor returned to him. Xnova, Magic Missile. He has 9 stick charges, and he's going to commit it with the Wave of Terror. Xnova gets the rebuttal kill onto the core.
That's so much gold. Oh, Fly's in trouble too. If that stun comes off, yeah, he's dead.
Oh yeah, it's coming off. Underneath the tower, now the TP comes in from Sumail. And Chalice, he doesn't have Swarm back just again. Not yet, but Chalice is staying underneath the tower. Lich will begin his TP over. And Xnova's cut a small path through. He doesn't have a lot of stick charges to work with, but they'll back out now.
As far as this bottom lane goes, this has been relatively quiet for now. Both teams seem to be getting some decent farm. Slight lead for S4 and the Enchantress, as is to be expected with this lane matchup.
And they're really trying to beat into Arme. As now he's locked inside, FY can just hook him back out again, but then the snowball, it brings in both Crit as well as S4 underneath the tower. FY is going to rot and slow him down. They're both very, very low. S4 cops most of the tower hits, and Crit, last one to kill off the Pudge. Arme is going to need a little bit of consumables, and now probably be brought in by the Pudge.
Oh, they're trying to dive him, though.
Oh,
this would be a really big kill if they find Arme. Yep, they see him.
And there's your shards. Locks him in. Crit needs more vision. Actually needs a mana. He can't snowball in just yet. Arme attacking up to S4 reveals his position, but FY's returned to the lane. He doesn't have any consumables. He doesn't have a salve, so Crit just a one punch. Doesn't even require the Walrus punch. Doesn't lose his life. Snowballs up to the creep in the lane and then away to safety. Hook! Latch him and pull him back in again. That escape from FY. Not available anymore.
Very nice hook. It makes a world of difference for Pudge to just get 1 or 2 kills in lane. It's a totally different hero when you just get... You see he's got the boots. Now he's probably going to either go in for an Urn or Tranquils and a Magic Stick probably along the way. And it just keeps you so much more relevant across the map to have this little extra influx. I think it's one of the supports that actually benefits the absolute most from these situations arising. And he got all the gold because his Clinks was dead. So good for him.
Oh, Sumail, double damage rune running in towards the mid after Somnus. He's got the Avalanche, needs to toss him back. Oh no, just throw him up. Is this going to be enough damage to finish the job with the tree toss? It's going to miss. Somnus jukes down. And Sumail, he's bottling. He's trying to stay close. Toss is coming back off cooldown. If he can get the vision, he can go for it. Meanwhile, up on top is Fly being chased down by Xnova. Sumail, how much are you going to commit for this? Underneath the tower, one more hit. He needs a creep, and he got it. He'll kill off Somnus. The damage from the tower will be enough to kill Sumail in return. But a kill is a kill, and he goes the whole way.
That is one of the most ridiculous dives I think I've seen in a long time. If there was one TP from anyone on the Radiant side, they could have just got that Sumail kill from that overextension.
They're going again over onto Arme. S4, the rot from FY is actually causing a couple problems with the level 2. He's got a hook of Valve, and that's heavy damage into S4. Crit wants to keep the chase going, but FY body blocks it so Arme can turn around, get the Searing Arrows into the Tuskar, and revenges LGDs, even though EG were the instigators.
This Pudge is going to be a problem, I think. He's almost level 5, minute 6. Just got another 2 kills to his name. That will turn into strength later when he gets the Flesh Heap, and I'm just curious to see what item build FY goes for, because people play this hero very differently in terms of itemization. Looks to be the Tranquils for now. has bought them with that Ring of Regen, and another 500 gold could go into, as I said, an urn or a stick, or maybe just tries to rush a mobility item like Force Staff or Blink Dagger.
It just seems like an easy way, too, where you can just run into the lane and harass S4 out no matter what, and the trade will always be good for him. Doesn't require sprites or anything. Sumail's gone hunting again. He found Somnus. He killed the Alpha Wolf, so we can't toss the Wolf forward. And, not again. Not again. VS will TP and then cancel it this time around.
Somnus is not having fun.
He's just, like, normally you just want to back off and farm one of the side lanes, but that's actually what he does underneath the shrine, but Sumail knows this. It's not like Sumail doesn't know how an Alchemist is played. He'll come in and beat the crap out of him with a piece of bark. There's splinters all over Somnus for how many times Sumail is just connected with the tree, doesn't find the kill. 80 HP will be there, and Chalice and X-Nova have rotated in. Sumail, have you bitten off more than you can chew? Tosses X-Nova away, but because he's got the Swarm on him, no armor to work with. Fly's looking for a rebuttal kill into X-Nova, but that will not happen.
There's been no one in the mid lane for a minute now. It's actually just creeps hitting each other in the mid lane.
I thought he almost fortified the creep wave too to try and push it back, like LGD fortified to try and say, yo, Sumail, remember you got a tower in mid.
Yeah, that's pretty weird stuff, honestly. This is not something you really see very often anymore. There's so much emphasis on creeps and playing the lane, but Sumail has this basically anti-carry mentality that if I just shut down Alchemist, my own game doesn't matter that much anymore. I would rather that we both suffer than that we both have a good time. So
well, how do you win the 1v1 matchup if you let the Alchemist go into the jungle and just let Grievous Greed kick in?
He has the one thing you can do with Tiny in this situation is just push the wave really fast and start hitting the tower with your tree. And if Alchemist doesn't go and defend, he feels pretty bad about losing his tower. So that's one way to do it. But, well, looks like Sumail's going hunting again. Nope, Somnus doesn't have any of that. He's going to port back to base.
He has a haste rune and he managed to deward the Observer Ward. That's why he wants to go
bottom
in deeper.
lane.
Bottom lane, yeah, that Snowball coming in. Waiting for FY, who's waiting for the perfect hook. It goes a long way down, but he'll pull S4 up and supports arrive. Chalice does his TP and FY already up to level 6, able to get the Dismember, which gives you all the control you require to kill off both of EG, but rotation of Weaver comes down. And then they deny the tower as well, so less money in for Evil Geniuses.
Look at Sumail in mid.
What is he?
He's cutting the wave. He's just trying to be as effective as possible about pushing so that now he can try to rotate down and mess with Alchemist. But
he's always staying where Somnus is. And now he gets a double avalanche into toss. There will be a little bit of a hit back, but Chemical Rage has got some time, but there's no acid spray.
Sumail can't kill Alchemist during his ultimate. There is no way.
He's killing the tier 1 tower in mid lane because of how he's playing this.
Yep.
So they fortify it up, but Fly and Crit, they do their own rotation. Shards fly forward. Somnus is trapped. Has no way to get back out of it. Sumail will cut a tree for him by picking it up, but that's just more damage in for Evil Geniuses. Tossing up Somnus, so he'll fall, and a huge swarm. X-Nova, everyone's come in. FY with a pullback into Dismember onto Arteezy. He wanted to haunt in and find a kill, but all he found was his own death. Chalice can chase down Crit, and he cannot get the block off. Chalice is just way too quick. Even an extra body block for him. Shikuchi off cooldown, and he'll run through and then destroy this Tuskar. Wait for it. Up towards the creeps. Crit. He doesn't have a... Okay, yeah. You're dead. Dead.
I really like how LGD are playing this game. Just they know what EG's mentality is going to be. They know that they will be hunting Alchemist, so they protect him with a lot of heroes. Well, EG, if you want to bring a lot of heroes to this Alchemist, we're going to counterplay you. We have super strong early fighters. We have a Pudge, we have a Weaver, and we have a Vengeful Spirit support. So if you come into our jungle, we're going to fight you. We're not going to let you get these kills for free. And this time, sure, I mean, you got the Alchemist kill, but it cost you 3 heroes, one of which was Arteezy on the Spectre. So absolutely not worth it for what they got.
Sumail might be a little annoyed as well. The TP from Fly came in just a little too early, so he never got full bottle charges out from Fly. So he's going to come into this engagement with Half-Life, but Half-Life may be enough, especially when you got 3 players ready to fight. Arme caught in the corner, Avalanche and Toss, both from Sumail, throwing S4 into the mix, and Arme will go down.
He was the one hero who's been getting a lot of space from everything that's happened. He hasn't been involved yet, but EG identify that that is indeed the case, and they will shut him down for a little bit now. So, good move from them. In the meantime, however, they did...
Got him! Got him totally.
See ya.
I like how Somnus just walks away. Doesn't even want the gold from the kill. It's like, nope. FY, it's all yours.
I'm an Alchemist, I don't need gold. Wait, that's not how the hero works.
Yeah, that's definitely not how the hero works. He loves gold. He's like a dragon.
They're going to lose the top tower as well here, EG. So they did rotate a lot of heroes down for this Klink's kill, and they were successful, but their safe lane has been left empty for quite a while now.
S4's dead as well. Like, he was just pushing with the double catapult, thought he can get away with it. The catapult now gets cleaned up, and the hook from FY. First one he's really missed. I like how the space was created. Like, the death pact was used by Arme to get rid of the catapult, which S4 was using to block against the Pudge.
Yep. That was a nice try. Enchantress is one of the harder heroes to hook, however. She has really high base movement speed and the phase boots, so S4 waited until the hook was flying out, activated phase, and just ran down really quickly, and the hook did not connect.
We have a blink reveal, but also X-Nova. He starts the TP out. Avalanche toss. It looks like they didn't check the inventory. Chalice will get nuked. The Observer Ward saw both of them coming. He had time to react. But they did not see the Blink Dagger on Samael. Now in towards the mid, Arteezy going to go against Somnus. He is underneath the Acid Spray and battling against Chemical Rage. Damn, they need a Spirit Vessel sometime soon.
Yeah, who's going to buy it, though? Crit is...
Crit's building towards it.
How far away is he? He's actually relatively rich. Be
yeah,
okay.
He needs another 1,200 gold to get there.
He'll get there.
It's not bad for a hero who's died 4 times.
It's a really great item against Alchemist, but at the same time, it has a very short timing window, because Alchemist gets so rich, he can very quickly, compared to other heroes like Necrophos, he can very quickly counter-itemize by just buying Lotus or Manta.
Blink, Avalanche toss, X-Nova gets a swap off, so Somnus will be saved.
For now.
For now, Arteezy just haunts over. He's underneath the shrine, so extra regeneration for Somnus, but he does not have the Chemical Rage, and he doesn't have the Friends. Klinks is moving over, so is the Pudge, and that's when they look for a little bit of a rebuttal, and Samael is the primary target. Dismember, pull him in. They have no stuns when he's in that, and the Avalanche toss, it does some decent damage, and thanks to the dust, Crit gets the reveal onto Arme. They snowball forward, and they will get the kill into Klinks, but FY still with the search. No, it won't be enough. Crit has a triple kill. You want the money. All of it's coming into the man who's building the huge item, which is the Spirit Vessel. As long as he can live, he'll be very happy with his feast here. And S4 is the intimidation factor. The level 8 Enchantress with the Dragon Lance. No one really wants to fight this.
Oh, gave away the ward there, though. S4 with that high ground hit. Showed X-Nova that they see him. So now the question is if they're going to find this ward. It's pretty much exactly in the middle. You'd think that's going to be easy to find for them, but sometimes you check the off angles. Yeah, he's going to find it right away.
It's just right on the edge.
Yep. Thank you very much for that, he says. Gets a bit of gold, and is working toward a hood in this game.
So let's have a look at this fight again. So the Weaver breaks the smoke, and then they still get the toss. They still get the Avalanche toss off.
Yeah, so good swap attempt here. If Somnus has ulti, I think he stays alive in this situation, but still on a long cooldown. They're running down the shrine. And the reinforcements just aren't there. Like, Klinks takes very long to rotate over from the bottom side, and...
Get to come back live, and Arme underneath his own
Fly
sentry
dying.
Gets a freebie. He also saw the Observer Ward getting planted up on the hill, I believe. So this will be time for LGD supports to check.
Oh, Somnus is spotted.
Yep, they're on the jump in. Alchemist. This is not what he wants to have happen. He's been sitting with this Radiance recipe for a while, but 2.5k gold. He needs to finish the job.
He's pinging out that there's got to be vision somewhere, and he's right. They actually do have a sentry that would see this ward if they only had high ground vision there.
They're coming over for Arteezy, but Arteezy's backing up. That was the pings from EG. And he's getting closer and closer towards his Blade Mail. Okay, maybe not full pings from EG. He's got a fresh Frost armor, so that's 11 armor to get through. Chalice doesn't want any part of it. Hook. Well, okay. Grabbed Arteezy. The double damage rune's worn off. The Swarm able to connect onto Fly as well as Crit, but it doesn't really matter. Fly is trapped. FY is trapped in the middle of nowhere. He actually did. Well, I guess EG doesn't get what they wanted, which was a kill.
I think FY was testing the waters there, like, are they really all here? Yep, they were. And fortunately for him, he gets the deny off, so it's like almost there's nothing gained for EG in this situation. They got absolutely nothing out of that. And the bounty runes will be going 3 to PSG.LGD, I think. They got 3, right, on Klinks? So they got a little bit of a gain there.
Crit got 1, 2 for Arme, and...
3 for Arme, right?
Yeah, 3 for Arme.
Yep.
3 for Arme.
So a slight win there.
Yeah.
Arme will be eating the Centaur. Should have enough health to stay alive for now against Samael.
Oh, Crit!
Straight into them,
see him so quickly! They still, okay, obviously they didn't know about that Observer Ward on the hillside. Now they will. They have all the information they needed.
Maybe they could have known, because Somnus just got killed up there, and he pinged out the area. He was like, something is going on here. They see me here. Yeah. And this ward has been up there for 2 minutes now. And had they thought a bit more about it, they might have been able to find that earlier. with Somnus' first death up there. But that means this ward has already paid for itself like 10 times. It's killed 2 cores.
Yeah.
That's super valuable.
Oh.
Radiant's complete.
Alright, so that's up, but at the same time you get the Blade Mail over on Arteezy, so Somnus can have this burn once he's able to, well, as long as he can buy it, which he should be able to in safety. The gank is coming to bottom lane from EG. As long as they have that, yeah, Dust is off cooldown. Spirit Vessel 3 charges are available, but it's only S4 and crit. They know they're outnumbered and more deboarding to happen, but they still have this obs on top lane. Like, Somnus is fighting, is farming underneath it, practically in the tower. He'll get a double concoction off, but Fly already got the kill, committed Chain Frost.
I think Xnova just pinked the ward again.
It's just like, guys, can we please?
Pretty much.
They have eyes in the forest, and Treant Protector isn't even in this game.
They're getting way too much value out of this ward at this point. Like, you gotta clear the area. If you feel like, okay, there's something happening up here, when you're playing with Alchemist, you're basically like, Alchemist, what do you want? And then, okay, Mr. Alchemist, we'll take care of it for you, buddy.
You see the circle being drawn inside the jungle. They're just like, guys, we have 4, 5, 6, 7 sentry wards on the field, and they're all away from the observers of the Dire side. We haven't. I mean, they found 1 observer inside LGD's like main jungle.
Yeah, LGD's own jungle is safer right now than the top half for sure.
Yeah. So maybe there's the question mark, why was Somnus up there, but there was 2 creep waves coming under a tier 1 tower.
Yeah. And it's also just the instinct, like it's... In most cases, this is where you want to play right now. You want to play in the top area and have vision there. Now they're finally going to place a sentry, I think.
Nope. They're smoking, they're going straight through, they're looking for kills, they're not looking for wards just yet. The hook from FY is going to be off target as a quick Spectral Dagger. Arteezy moves up the hill, and Crit's got the high movement speed away.
Now they're going to sentry. They better.
3, 2. Wave of Terror for reveal. Alright, we found one, but they don't know where the other one is.
Yep,
But
that's another one. It actually
times out.
Yeah. So full 6 minutes on that one. That ward has also been really useful in seeing the movements. They've had so much time to prepare for Alchemist's movement patterns. I've done a really good job. Somnus has died 6 times this game on Alchemist. That's generally a really bad sign. He's obviously still far ahead of them in gold.
Because it's an Alchemist.
But Alchemist needs to be. And he probably needs to be farther ahead than this. EG are in a good position this game.
I do like his item build. Like, his item build's going to allow them to try and kill off the spec. By having the full Silver Edge, you're going to be removing that dispersion so early on in these fights. And that's when he's looking to, like, actually really hurt, coming in with the Blade Mail.
It's an aggressive build. And I'm imagining we're going to see LGD try to play a lot of fighting the moment this item comes up. I guess the logic is we want to hit this timing where Alchemist and Clinks want to play the same game. Can't have Alchemist farming the whole time and Clinks just not being able to do his thing. So maybe that's what they're thinking here, that they'll activate their team at the same time. Because Clinks is getting his item now too. He's 100 gold away from the Maelstrom. It's the second game in a row we see that from Ame.
Actually have double Maelstrom, so Charles just picked one up as well. Came out in the courier.
Big timing. It's so much stronger now.
Nice blend damage. So Silver Edge for information from Somnus to initiate, heavy damage to follow up. Does EG have the strength to actually fight this? You've already got the 2nd level up in Grow, so Tiny's walking around with 20 armor, Echo Saber, so he's going to hit hard and fast, physical and magical.
I think the biggest item is coming out right now. It's coming onto S4. Because what's going to happen now is when Alchemist opens this fight, if they put a Vessel on him with Tusk and then pike him, and just have any vision like Frozen Sigil or whatever, Enchantress is going to solo kill Alchemist from full HP.
Yeah.
So they got to be really careful. I think S4 has shown in the top lane now, though, so if they've pinged it out, they would know that there is a pike. This is a really important item for them to pay attention to.
He came for the bounty rune. He's going to try and outrun them. He used the shots to try and block him off. He'll go for the 2nd bounty rune as well. He'll need to dodge the hook and then dismember. That's a kill.
He got, how many runes did he get? Only one of them?
He got both of the bounties.
That's worth it. I think it's worth dying for.
But he gave another level of Flesh Heap over to the Pudge. And now Avalanche Toss. Buyback comes in from Crit. Spectral Horn into the back lines. The Blade Mail's turned on. And LGD! They're killing themselves! Crit tries to come in and capitalize on Xnova. He's so low in life now. S4. Oh, someone... Okay, yeah, now they're going to kill him off. 3 heroes lost. FY's TP will be able to complete as the VS illusions kind of caused more problems.
Well...
But that's a 2 for 3 trade-off. Money-wise, it does go the way of EG, same for the experience.
Yeah, there's a slight win for EG, not that much. They had to buy back the Tusk, and yeah, sure, it's a support, but it's a pretty rich support, so buying back costs a decent amount, and they did kill the big carry in Arteezy there, so Not too bad for LGD. They probably don't feel too good about it, but in the grand scheme of things, this is a very insignificant fight compared to a lot of other stuff that's happened this game.
It works nicely when you then get the push on bottom lane. Like, Charles is looking to try and hold up. Okay, well, I don't know if that's... Yeah.
There's no mana. He has to go back to refill.
Yeah, he's trying to hold the push. While the rest of EG would love to just force into that bottom tower. And Samel's on the hunt once more. They're looking towards the Clinks in the mid. He's farming up. Avalanche toss. X-Nova's there for the swap, but it comes way too late. In fact, it never even came at all.
It's hard to cast swap on a tossed target. It's part of the strength of Tiny, actually, is how hard it is to save the heroes he goes on.
Oh, S4. Well, there's your first swap, and they toss in the Tusker right into a Walrus Punch. Try and throw out the shards to catch out FY. EG never happy with just one kill, and here comes your snowball forward. Crit, no shards available just yet. Charles is in the neighborhood, but he has no swarm available. FY, he knows he's dead. Tries to rob through it, won't be able to deny himself. And LGD, the snowball of death.
Somnus, whoa, he's really far up. He has cooldown on TP for 30 seconds.
Okay.
He's going to need to juke away in the tree line here, or hope that EG thinks he's just going to TP out, because this is a long time. They're giving him information mid, though. They're showing all their heroes on that mid wave. So.
And he's coming in for Concoction. He's going after Arteezy, and Arteezy...
Oh!
Wait, what? He missed the target? He didn't get the toss off. Arteezy went into the trees, and now with the TP up from Crit, they're able to capitalize. Concoction's burning again, but he does not have time to get it off. Permanently stunned. And EG rotated. They showed everyone in mid, but they ended up having 4 on top.
I think, did Arteezy see him come in? Because he reacted really quickly to that by running into the tree line.
I honestly don't know. There's no observer one in position for it.
He might have just felt it as well in the moment. Like, where is Alchemist? Is he trying to kill me? Just in case, let me start running toward the tree line. And he was.
Yeah, he burned the blade mail. Perfect dust right on max range. Clips Chalice. And then initiation after initiation coming in from Evil Genius. Doesn't even get a shard block onto FY. Crit doesn't have Snowball available. But what he does have is 7 Spirit Vessel charges. He is very well equipped.
All right, we see Somnus is starting to work on a BKB because he needs a defensive item. That's just what's happening this game right now. Every time he tries to make a move, he just gets killed off. He's got to get that BKB or Lotus Orb or something of that type. Maybe even a Mantis Style would still be great. Right now, I have really not felt Ame in this game. I feel like we've barely seen the hero.
Yeah.
Every time we see Clinks, it's because he's getting killed.
Well, they always get the gank on him.
Yep.
That's the problem. Like, he's not the instigator.
FY?
Yeah, he's feeling something. They're going to walk over and finally get rid of that observer ward that Scriff was highlighting previously. I think X-Nova's a little bit worried about going for it. There's your hook, pulling back Samel, and they just flip him, toss him, everything. FY is just a pancake. And they're looking for a little bit more. Arteezy into the back lines. They've got extra help, and Somnus isolated. What? He cannot fight back without killing himself.
That looked like full-on miscommunication. Like, there was absolutely nothing to do there for Somnus. His Pudge was dead, all of his teammates backed off, and he just ran into them and got killed off. And that's a big death. This might be Roshan.
It is.
They don't have the best Roche lineup, so actually this can backfire if they're a bit too slow, but Arteezy with the Manta style is dealing a lot of damage now onto the Roche.
They're taking very little back. Look at that gold from kills, 4.85 to the 8.8. It's just being a lot more efficient, and like it's 25 to 17 kills. The amount of kills are not that high. It's just better ones coming in for Evil Geniuses.
And they get the Aegis. How many bounties will they get here? 1, 2... They got 3, I think.
Oh, Samel didn't see the target. And Ame doesn't see the target. He just walked straight up and picked up the bounty rune that Ame walked over the top of.
I feel like if you're in LGD's position right now, you have to understand that if Alchemist doesn't get another item or 2, the fights are impossible at this point. Like, it's just not working. They have to try to find a way of getting Somnus at least this BKB. Even then, it's still really, really difficult, but it feels like there is a chance at least.
Yeah.
The current fights are just not panning out well at all.
They need EG to let up for a bit. Like, to actually have a little bit more space. But, you know, EG are not. They group up as 4 and they smoke. They're looking to fight.
Either you do it that way or you make an aggressive play with some of your other heroes. Not where you're looking for a full-on team fight, but you're just looking to distract and create space. And right now, what they're going to go for instead is they'll probably just sacrifice their Vengeful Spirit to try to get Somnus his item.
Yeah, and Somnus actually needs to TP out practically in 3 seconds or he's dead. In fact, make that 1 second. Right now, he needs to go. Too late. Here comes your snowball forward. If he even TPs, it won't achieve anything. He just throws out the concoction, but already dead. Bought the Mithril Hammer, so there's no buyback. He is dead for 45 seconds.
Venge just left his side there to run into the jungle, and I don't really think Venge would have made much of a difference in that situation. When he got backstabbed like that, he's dead no matter what, so at the very least, they only lose the Alchemist. But this is an Alchemist game, by the way. Let's remember.
Though. Like, Crit's out of position. The Snowball's going to come over towards Chalice. Arme's nearby, and now he'll... Does he see Sumail? Sumail doesn't see him, and Arme just quickly runs away. How are they... Where's the detection? Like, there's no gem on the Tuskar.
He just got a dust. He blink dusted. Didn't catch him, though.
Oh, FY finds his target. Goes in after Fly, but then support's going to arrive from both sides. Arme dusted up. FY with the hook, able to get the kill over onto Fly, but really, is this cost worth it? He had the Blade Mail. He wants to get a little bit more damage because he's making space. Like, it's with their deaths. They're trying to make space for both Chalice as well as Somnus to come back in this game. But is it really worth it? I know there's diminishing returns, but they're dead for a while.
It's an Alchemist team that's 8k gold behind. Minute 27. They are very, very far behind. This is not really the state of the game. Like, if this was with other heroes, this Alchemist would obviously not have 14k gold right now. He would have, like, 7, maybe.
But the space they're buying is getting the BKBs. Like, Weaver's ready to push in the bottom tower. The Alchemist is practically, like, he's pretty much close to finishing up his BKB.
Yeah.
Chalice is going to do the same type of thing. And how does the team fights change once these are up?
Well, they're going to take a lot less damage from the Spectre and Lich, and of course the Tiny combo if they can block it off before he casts it, but they're still struggling with S4. He has Pike and this Aghanim Scepter. Sure, he can't pike them if they're BKB'd, but he still hits like a truck from really long range.
Yeah.
So you gotta... At this point, I feel like you gotta rely on either a great swap or a great hook when EG try to push your base and kind of bait them into overextending into your base and getting some key kills under Acid Spray.
So you're doing like a defensive swap, or you actually want them to be aggressive and actually swap EG into a bad spot?
I would like to see them swap EG into their base, because I think the defensive swaps are not going to cut it anymore. If EG starts pushing, you got to find that key kill.
Clinks, he's underneath that sentry ward, tries to open up after Fly once again. The hook pulls him back, and the swap. Arme barely survives that. Impetus did so much damage because of the drag back. So VS will die, but Arme, he was ticking down to the Spirit Vessel, still affected by dust for half a second. Now it will wear off, gets more life, secondary dust crit, taunts him, and then punches him. Style points.
And in the meantime, Arteez is just pushing bottom. So this tier 2 tower is gone. He has Haunt ready again now. And this is the high ground play from EG, and unfortunately for LGD, well, they lost their aggressive swap player, he's dead, and yeah, they can hook, but who's going to deal the damage?
Somnus actually needs to TP back now. They may just let it go. Like, because is there a point to fight this? Chalice isn't coming back. He is now finishing up his BKB. He has the money for it. So TP is there. Hook back, Arteezy. Just pops the Manta Style, makes it impossible for FY to fight him. And the tier 3 tower has fallen. EG. 8 seconds till Clinks. The window is still sort of open. They're centering to get rid of the Observer Ward. They know there's problems. And then sentry on sentry in the mid. Nice trap, X Nova. Made a half igloo. Radiance is now done on EG, so Arteezy completes it.
There goes Davis.
Yeah, Aegis is gone.
And that's their call to go. They're going to try here to find an opening.
Well, they found one. Clinks right on top of Sumail. Arme actually takes the rune, and Sumail blinks over, goes inside the Shadow Blade, so he'll get fresh bottle charges. And Chalice looks for his own targets. 3 heroes around the front of Roshan, then runs away. There's just so much vision for EG. They have the Observer and Sentry up, so there it is. Reality Rift in. X-Nova becomes target number 1. Burns down to the Radiance, and there's just no way for LGD to fight. Chalice at least gets his BKB off, plus the timeless, but that doesn't matter. Arteezy hits like a truck. 3 heroes down for LGD. Alchemist never even involved. He's sitting back at his racks, wondering, why are we outside the base dying?
Yep. I think, you know, at some point you gotta just try. You gotta take the chance and go for the fight. And they tried to find an opening, it didn't work. This is definitely the mid-rack's gone. Somnus is standing here with the Radiance, just dealing whatever damage he can, but
He also wants to pick up the Blade Mail, because there's no way he can stand in a fight either unless he has that up and running. But EG are going to claim 2 lanes of racks. Nothing can stop this from LGD. The only thing that stops the third one is the fact that Tier 2 tower is still alive on the top lane.
The thing EG has done such an exceptional job at this game is identifying what the condition is for LGD to take a fight. They've had constant sentries and dusts the whole game. The map has been plastered in sentries. They've had the dusts when the opportunities arise to go for the kills on both the Weaver and the Clinks. And they've managed to kill this Alchemist 10 times. Like, you can't really counter this lineup more than this. They shut down the Invis heroes, they shut down the Alchemist. That's it. That's what you're going to do. And they've done a really, really good job this game.
Right now, LGD are trying to make the play for the Melk Award. The run's coming out. FY looking for a good hook line. Arteezy is revealed. They swap him back down again into the hook and dismember. Hold him in. Crit comes in for a snowball save. Yep, he'll pick him up and drag him back out again over towards Ame, who thought he was safe sitting on the sidelines, but it doesn't happen when Crit's there holding onto the gem. They see all. They win all. EG take game number 1 against LGD. And they hold their number 1 position in this group, even though there's still 1 more game to play in this series.
And this last pick, Alchemist, just fell flat, really.
Yeah.
They needed too much time. I think one of the big problems in this game, when you look at it with how LGD played, was they have this trio of heroes that was really good at reinforcing Alchemist, and they got a couple of good fights in their jungle, where when EG goes on Alchemist in the early game, they reinforce with Venge, Pudge, and the Weaver.
Yeah.
I didn't see Ame all game. Like, this Clinks was actually almost completely useless.
They were meant to find the right timing too. Like, it was meant to be both Ame as well as Chalice teaming up, and finding these pickoffs. But I don't even want to put it on the supports. Like, Xnova did his job. FY had a really great laning phase as well. It's just
did what they could.
They made the space, but the cores just never were able to capitalize with it.
I think it's generally a bad sign when you have both Alchemist and another carry farming jungle together.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Both Ami and Somnus needed so much time, and you got to make space for Alk.
Maybe that's when you put a lot of points onto what Samel did. It may have looked crazy. It may have looked insane.
Oh, I thought it was good.
But it was exactly what he needed to do to win the lane. Chase down the Alchemist, never give him anything. And after that point, like, the vision coverage of Evil Geniuses, they always knew where LGD was going to go, and maybe this is the downside about running an Alchemist. You know how the game's going to play out.
Yeah, well,
you know how he's going to farm pattern, and you just watch it.
Samel was like, if I'm Alchemist this game, what would I hate the most? And then he's like, I'll just do that. That's what I'm going to do. Gonna run him down, hunt him, and yeah, like you said, he also got the mid tower, put a lot of pressure, and I liked, like I said earlier, I liked the couple of plays LGD actually had early on where they took fights together that worked out, but they got like one of them, 1 or 2 moments, and the rest of the moments were just all EG.
Man, I cannot wait to see game number 2. LGD hating Samel. Maybe the hate of DAC can be brought back once more, and game 2 can be a little bit closer than game 1.